What is up, everybody? George, it is about that time again. What time is that, Kevin? Bippity bop boom bam. Do you remember this bad boy? It's a Ruckus XL from the Eton Corporation.
Dude,
and
that introduction was Ruckus. Bippity bop boom bam.
I'm trying to get people worked up about it, man. Because when the Uncut Sports Show starts giving away free stuff, you need to be excited.
It's not necessarily free.
We're going to make you earn it.
Yeah, what you monkeys need to do, and the winner of this... They're all monkeys.
I know.
We're all monkeys. Relax, black people. Christ. What you got?
And white people.
Yeah, just relax, assholes. What you got to do to win that is come up with the most creative video response, and it's got to be short, like 10 seconds or less, of what you would do with your Ruckus XL.
If you got the Ruckus XL, which is great because it's a Bluetooth-enabled, state-of-the-art, solar-powered boombox that has 8 speakers.
In other words, for you monkeys that go tailgating, this is all you would need. As long as you're not in Morgantown,
and you don't
where the
need
sun never shines.
Yeah, and you don't need batteries and you don't need a cord because this shit just flips up. Yeah. The sun powers you up. You can charge your iPhone, your iPad, whatever device or whatever you have that's basically an Apple product.
So in other words, monkeys, come up with a video response, and it's running all month long.
Yes.
And the most creative ones, Kevin and I will start setting aside. And you have to come 15 seconds. No more than 15 seconds. If it's over 15 seconds, you automatically lose because I'm not watching.
Now, the other thing
and we're the judges.
It's not just the fact that we're giving away this Ruckus XL. The Eton Corporation has been kind enough. The whole reason we're doing this is because we're promoting their contest. They're doing a Twitter contest where you guys, it's open. It started Labor Day. You can go over to the Eton Corporation and tweet them at Eton Corporation. And what they want you to do is to tweet your best tailgating photo. Okay? Now, the catch to it is you got to tweet at Eton Corporation and you got to put hashtag Eton Tailgates. Now, that can get kind of funny. Hashtag.
Considering we're not eligible,
we would win.
All I would do was find some girl with a gigantic booty and I would follow her and I would tape it or just a short little 3-second video clip and that would be my tailgating.
That'd be your tailgate party.
That's what I do.
He just sent it to Eton Corporation, put hashtag Eton Tailgates, and bam, he's got one of these bad mama jammas.
Or it could be a dude with a big booty.
Yeah.
Whatever
you guys want, man. Hey, we don't know. Eton doesn't care. They're just trying to give away some free stuff. Now, it's time for college football.
And yet another exciting week. And my hat's off to all of you monkeys who sit there and tell us we don't know anything about college football, because obviously we don't know shit about shit, and then maybe that should be the name of our show.
And that's the whole reason we started this damn show, because we don't know shit about shit. That's what's good. And George and I are fine with that, so fuck you guys. So, anyway, how about if we start...
For me right now, the biggest upset this entire weekend was the U. They appear to be somewhat back, and they beat Florida. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, they got to play at home, so Florida had to travel into the Hurricanes. And
But they showed some tenacity, man. I mean, they caused a bunch of turnovers. Obviously, people are going to say Florida's quarterback play and Florida, the turnovers and everything, but a team causes those turnovers.
Can I go into my Tim Tebow theory?
Guys, this is George's Tim Tebow theory, okay? Now, him and I, we go way back, we're friends, but I don't always co-sign George's crazy conspiracy shit.
Here's where I'm at.
Okay? Remember that.
Just be glad you're sitting down. The Pouncey brothers. Riley dropping the N-word Cooper.
That's nigga Cooper. Go ahead. Because he got in a fight with the player. And the funniest thing about the whole thing, he got in a fight. Everybody was like, what happened? Was it because of racial things? Was it something about at the Philadelphia Eagle practice? And the guy, one of the people who didn't want to be named, said no, but the black guy, when he was fighting Riley Cooper, called him a nigga. I mean, come on, man. So
we got
anyway.
the Pouncey brothers. Back to my Tim Tebow theory.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Pouncey brothers. Yeah, theory. Mm-hmm. Riley Cooper and Aaron I'll Kill You Hernandez. All played at Florida at the same time.
Yes.
And the common denominator there is Tim Tebow. You guys familiar with Charles Manson? How he convinced all those people to kill for him just by brainwashing them? It's kind of my theory on Tim Tebow.
George thinks that Tebow brainwashed.
I think he's the mastermind. I think he's just like this, just controlling them.
He's
he's mind-banging the NFL right now.
I'm going to tell you what, well, he needs to mind-bang somebody to think they're going to let him play quarterback, because nobody's going to let that Bama play quarterback.
So anyway, that's my theory on Tim Tebow, and that's why they lost, because Tim Tebow is no longer manipulating Florida.
My theory, before we get back to college football, is Tim Tebow, you need to just say, I don't want to play quarterback anymore and be a halfback, because he had an offer from an NFL team.
We'll get to that later because we're going to talk about the NFL later. So right now we're sticking with college football.
Okay, so the U.
Yeah, the U won. They looked impressive. I think with one more win, if they go 3-0, they'll probably crack the top 25. They might crack the top 25 here because at the time Florida was ranked. Yeah. Miami just starting to look like the old Miami.
And you know what? With that being said, it's just not Miami. It's the whole ACC. It's funny because Maryland's leaving the ACC, and I'm thinking now they're thinking, oh shit, should we have left this? Because the ACC now has Miami, who looks like their program's on the way back. Clemson, who looks even better after Georgia won today. Now you got Louisville that's coming over next season, and they're looking great, especially with this Heisman Trophy quarterback. And then you still got the other teams like Florida State.
He meant Heisman Trophy hopeful quarterback. Just relax.
Yeah, because one of you guys will correct me, so whatever. But it does. The ACC is looking like it's starting to take a swing for the better, and you like that? That's 8 for the better. So who knows?
Don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Hit you with the Puerto Rican judo.
So what was your big game for this weekend? Like, what game did you look most forward to?
Actually, I looked most forward to I wanted to see the University of Miami in the Florida game. And why? Because I'm to the point, not that I'm hating on the SEC, I'm just tired of all these SEC teams winning. I want to see it be mixed up a little bit, And I guess some people could call me a hater. And I guess I'm not,
No, it's in today's day and age, if you don't like something, you're automatically labeled a hater. You're not allowed to dislike something. You can just...
I just like to see some change because we're seeing the same team. We're seeing Bama and Georgia and LSU, which is fine.
Well, but what'd you think of Georgia? Back-to-back weeks after playing top teams.
Yeah, I mean, they came back and they had a great game against South Carolina. They beat, the old ball coach and beat South Carolina and Clowney, who everybody was going crazy about. It's the second coming of Jesus. But it's like they did what they had to do because it would have been really hard for that program to basically have a decent season taking, being 0-2. It started the season 0-2.
What sucks is you see these teams, and I don't think you can take anything away from South Carolina. You can't take anything away from Georgia. I mean, they both opened up the season strong.
Right.
And then they both now have one loss on the record. And technically, with the system they're in, they're out of the BCS championship.
Yeah.
But if you implement a playoff system, they're technically not out. So, I mean, even with a 4-game system or 4-team system, I don't think they'd be in.
Yeah.
My theory is the way you take it is you take you take the winner of the ACC, the winner of the SEC, the winner of the Big 13, the winner of the Pac-27 or whatever they are now, and the Big 12, and then one other conference. Take the winners of all 6 of those. Take the winner of all 6 of those. There's your 16 playoff. Yeah. Done. That's not, why? Just do it that way.
The 16 playoff is not going to work though. It's got to be 18 playoff. It's either got to be 4, 8, or
well, I'm just saying, start with those 6. Those 6 are automatic ends, and then the next 2 can come up with some
large
system.
ones or something. Yeah.
I think that's what eventually it needs to get to. Because 4 teams, yes, that's going to be nice next year, but it's still going to be flawed.
Yeah, I think 8 teams is where it eventually has to go to, and I think that'll probably be enough. Anyway, let's keep going on with which in college football. There were some fucked up situations that happened. The quarterback for Cincinnati just looked like he got a nasty leg injury. That's definitely
that's done.
Yeah,
and then the TCU quarterback is now having surgery. So I think your miracle, your season's just about over.
Yeah. Also, Ohio State's quarterback went out, but their backup came in. Miller hurt his knee, and their backup came in and just put it on him.
Yeah. Speaking of other things that got put on, I don't know quite if I would think if you were brought in as the head coach of Notre Dame, there's certain things you need to understand. A, who touchdown Jesus is, and B, who University of Michigan is.
Right.
And to sit there and say that isn't a rivalry game, did you read the handbook or the pamphlet or Welcome to Notre Dame coaching? I don't understand. I understand it's the last time you guys are going to play in, I guess, forever. But I don't understand how you could even get off with that comment.
I just think sometimes, Kelly, he's just he kind of just wants to act like he's very nonchalant about everything. And I'm like, okay, you can't be nonchalant about the Notre Dame and Michigan history and that rivalry. Okay, today, for instance, and I was telling George this, I found something very interesting I didn't know. Mark Harmon, the star of NCIS, his dad played, first I didn't know Mark Harmon himself played for UCLA. He was a UCLA quarterback in the 70s. And his father was the first Michigan Heisman Trophy winner. And he played quarterback, and obviously back then he was playing offense and defense. He played a million positions, had 1,000,000 yards, but he was like this phenom for Michigan. And basically, the quarterback today wore his number. They let them take his number out of retirement, and he wore it with a Legends patch. And that was a big thing. So it's been a huge rivalry, and to kind of just like casually blow that off, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know, but to me, that pretty much wraps up college football.
It really does.
If you miss anything.
LSU stomped. Oklahoma ended up edging out West Virginia. And then, you know, the regular teams, Nebraska and all of them, they pretty much did what they had to do. No real major upsets, you know.
Did BYU hang on to beat Texas?
BYU is beating Texas right now, actually, as we're filming, 40-21. Which is pretty crazy.
Dude,
Brigham Young's putting on the Storm and Mormons are not happening.
I'm telling you right now, Mac Brown.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to change.
Yeah, it's about time. But you know, it's amazing to me. They've struggled and they're ranked 15th in the country.
They won't be after this loss.
No, they'll drop out of the 25.
Them in Florida. Florida will be. I'll be shocked if they're in the top 25.
Yeah. Stanford's doing pretty well too.
Yeah, look, all those West Coast teams, we're on the East Coast. It's 12 o'clock here.
And it's still early.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the NFL because
the season started. It started Thursday.
It started Thursday
with
night.
With a bang.
A bang.
With tell Ryan Seacrest. That was the highlight. Wait, you didn't? No?
What?
That was the best.
No.
He got booed. That was the best part of the whole game.
Oh.
They booed them.
No. The best part of the game
Peyton Manning went apeshit.
Was Peyton Manning. And, you know, there's a lot of things. You know, if he can keep that up-tempo offense and now, you know, sometimes people say, oh, Peyton Manning's like, they're good, this and this, and they talk about, you know, like George and I had a discussion talk about, like, well, you know, Joe Montana. It was very funny. George and I were having this discussion talking about Joe Montana. He will always be the man. He'll always be legendary because of his 4 Super Bowls and what he did in San Francisco. But Joe Montana definitely came out of one of the best football systems ever, what Walsh had in San Francisco. When he left and went to Kansas City,
he did make the playoffs once, but he came in as a reserve.
He came, and he didn't do much after that.
No.
Peyton Manning went into a completely different system, you know, was all out of football for a year. He's played in the league 14 years. Last year he came back, had one of his best seasons. This year he started out the 2013-14 season with a NFL 7-touchdown game. He was hitting everybody. If your mom was on the field, she was catching a touchdown pass. If your cat was on the field, that motherfucker was catching a touchdown pass. And they could be catching a lot of other shit, but they were definitely catching a touchdown pass from Peyton Manning.
I told Kevin, look, I can only base this off of my lifetime and what I've watched, and I'm sorry, but he's the best quarterback that I've ever watched play. And yes, I've seen Tom Brady play. But I don't think Tom Brady could be effective anywhere else but where he's at with the coach he has. Not taking anything away from him. Systems work. That's why you run them. You run them till somebody stops them. I get it. Peyton Manning is hands down the best quarterback I have ever seen play. Period.
He really is. I mean, he knows the game so well.
Yeah, no one knows it better than him.
He is. He's a genius when it comes to being a NFL quarterback. He can sit there, line you up. He did obviously what they thought he was doing because, you know, Brandon Stokely's now playing with the Ravens. He knew that Stokely would clue the Ravens defense onto some of the things that they run and the way they line up. So he set their offense up in that formation and run a completely different play and have them on the back of the heels. He was going 1-2 first down, 1-2 first down, 1-2 first down. And those guys had their hands on their knees, and it was pretty much a wrap.
Well, what I told Kevin is I'm watching some of the highlights, and you watch Peyton throw, and it is not the prettiest. The arm angles, it's a real high arcing. It doesn't seem like it has a lot of zip. And then you watch, and then it's his receiver who's got the corner beat, and it's on his hands, and he can run with it. And it's just like, wow.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
And I understand the Ravens had to change a lot of players on defense. It's not the same defense, but you know what? They're still professional athletes.
Yeah.
There's no one better.
Yeah.
Like this is the best you're going to get. These are the top of their game. They're there for a reason.
Yeah. So, and this is another thing it comes like the people who are Ravens fans or follow Ravens football or people who have hated on Ray Lewis. That is why Ray Lewis is such a good fucking player because one, he motivates his other players. You got 2 year leaders, him and Ed Reed, that are out. They were the big motivating factors to the Ravens. Heart and soul of your defense. 2, you've got a man that when you've got your field general sitting across from you like Peyton Manning, he's played against Peyton Manning for 13 years in the league. He knows what he's going to do. Ray Lewis might not be as fast, but Ray Lewis doesn't have to be as fast because he knows where the ball's going.
Right, and he's got 10 other people he can tell where the ball's
going. Where the ball's going. And you know what? They didn't have that on the football field that night. So it's, you know.
Here's the question. Did Terrell Suggs play?
Yeah. So what?
No, that's what my...
No, but that's what I mean. I mean, he's fucking a Pro Bowl linebacker, but so what? I mean, he just doesn't have the supporting cast right now. They've got all these rookies in the secondary. They're hurting.
It's gonna be a long.
I think a lot of the AFC might be hurting.
I think the winner of the Super Bowl is coming out of the NFC.
Yeah, but I think Denver might be represented. I don't really. I seriously. I know everybody's saying early and everything, but after last season and stuff, and now thinking Von Miller wasn't even in, and they were just. I mean. Anyway, now, was there anything else we want to talk about in the NFL?
Well, hold on real quick. This next week, because we're talking about Denver, because let's face it, when you guys see this, Sunday have already been played. We haven't got to see it. We'll get to talk about how bad, oh my God. They play the Eagles.
What? Man, I'm going to tell you what, G. I mean, he might have 700 yards on them Bamas. I'm telling you what, he'll have 50 touchdowns on him. He is going to break Tom Brady's touchdown record.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what.
You can believe that
shit. He gets to play at home versus the Eagles and versus the Redskins.
Yeah.
Now
he can light the Redskins secondary up too, because you know those motherfuckers.
I'm going to tell you what. The game, I wish that, come December 29th, I wish that game meant anything for Denver because they're playing at Oakland. He could pass for 1,300 yards in the first half.
They have nobody.
Oakland is abysmal. But the game I want to see is at Indianapolis and at New England. They play at Dallas on October 6th. That's going to be a test.
I'm going to tell you what, when they play at New England, you can believe Wes Welker is going to be trying to get 200 yards as well.
Let me tell you, in 2 weeks, when they play versus Oakland at home, on September 23rd, they're going to destroy Oakland.
Yeah.
You know what? I will give...
Al Davis will be rolling around in his grave in his Evel Knievel suit. You can believe that shit.
Oh, my.
Imitating Captain Crunch. Because that one outfit he had looked just like Captain Crunch. Except he didn't have the cereal box to go with that shit. But he looked like Captain Crunch. Just saying how it is, man.
And
rest in peace.
My acting shit, son. All day. I got an acting face.
All day. All day. It's all slimmed down and all CrossFit. Can a brother talk? Cross-fitted out. Now, anything else we want to talk about in the NFL?
I think we're good.
I think we are too.
I mean, we'll have more probably later this week.
Yes. Now.